Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 31. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. Another week with a lot of excitement has happened. So we have seen a new all-time high, at least for the moment, with Bitcoin. We have seen some astonishing results out of Yieldnodes in the past month. And also Solar Farm has really upped its game here. So we had 2 solar flares in the last week, and that has also created a bit of mayhem. We're going to go into this. Obviously, we have our trading, and Alex is back with a few videos. So let's get started and see what the week had to bring. First part, no, it's not a rerun from last week. We just wanted to show you this one first. This is the first 3 weeks of Yieldnodes results that we had. So week 1, 1.3, 1% for week 2, and 1.5 for week 3 here in July. So the results that we came up with here is actually expected to be around 5 or 6%, and that's what we mentioned in last week's news report. Obviously, this was all speculation, and Yieldnodes put this to shame. So the July results came in with an astonishing 9.2%, and obviously after the first 3.8%, which is again a rough estimate, so from Steve, yeah, we managed more than 5%, 5.4 to be exact. And that was quite astonishing from the Yieldnodes team, and definitely not something that we saw coming. It looks like this here on the graph, and if we have a closer look, we can see it's the red line. The red line was following for the first 3 weeks. It was following the May and June, which was below the initial part of the year. And then all of a sudden we see this high jump up to 5.4% in the last week, making a new all-time high for the year with 9.2%. So extremely happy with this, and let's see if this is going to be back to the new norm. We also have a video that we have sent out regarding Yieldnodes, and that covers both the audit part and what we saw, a couple of pictures that are in there from the new hub section. So our take on Yieldnodes, and obviously also we have a look at the July month and the review, the pros and cons, the ups and downs from the profits every single month. So by all means, go and have a look. We'll make sure that the link for this video is below in the description as always. Going on to Decenomy. So this is a bit more quiet at the moment. As we can see, the SAPP or Sapphire coin return on the investment, so for the iHost MN site is pretty stable, 53% at the moment, and that has also meant that the shared masternoding slowly but surely, steadily has gone up. This particular week it was 1.7%, so from 69.1 up to 70.88. Continues to be a good development. However, so the coin development from the SAPP, this is the first time we've seen that in a while, is down. Last week we had 654%, and we lost about 20% of that, so down to 633. Sorry. On top of this, so it looks exactly like this. We can see that it has been going up, up and up, and at the moment we see a small retracement in the graph, but most probably this will turn around. So as soon as Bitcoin also starts to crawl up again. PNY also very stable now for the return on the investment per year. So it hovers around the 97-98% mark. So that is what we call stable. Shared masternoding is moving forward, but obviously with the lower percentage that we're getting now, it's only 13% for the shared masternode for this particular week. It's still good enough to pull our overall coin development out of the minus that we had again last week into 8% profit. Obviously, the more coins we are getting now that we are past the 650% mark, small little minute changes can really help us a lot. And let's have a look at the graph. And if we look down in the right hand corner here, we can see that there has been some good development after a few small hiccups, and it looks like it's slowly but surely moving up in the right direction again. Birake is the only one that has gone a few percent down on the return on investment per year. So last week it was 106%, now we're down to 104. Not that it matters that much, it's still very good overall development. As you can see, 2.4% we actually received on the shared masternode in the past week, which is quite okay. Overall coin development has now passed 300%, so from 293 all the way up to 331. So extremely well, and that is the reason why, again on the graph, we can see that things are moving in the right direction, and that is good news for all of us that are into the shared masternoding. If we have a quick look at the Bitcoin versus USDT, so for the past week we have seen that it was last week at around 21,500. Since then it was moving up and going to the high for the week at more than 24,000, and then steadily it has been moving downwards again, and at the time we are shooting this video it's around the 23,000 mark. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get this one back up again. For Elevate Pass, no, this is not a rerun. We have now a profit for week 31 of the same as from the last couple of weeks, 0.5%. And obviously we have already seen in the Telegram apps a couple of people that don't understand why we continue to have such a low profit. So we do believe that they are very cautious at the moment. And at the same time, if we look at some of our trading, and you will see that a bit later, you'll also see that for the past couple of weeks and the last month basically, trading has been down compared to previous months. If that is what Elevate Pass is experiencing at the moment, I'm not exactly sure, but it is definitely one explanation. If you're not happy with the 0.5%, we always mention that build your own team, get your 10% direct commission, 1.8 matrix for the rest of the team, and that will basically also boost it up. On top of this, it is now 1 year since Elevate Pass came online, and that means that for a whole year they have provided positive profit every single week. So congratulations to Elevate Pass. I am expected to talk to the CEO and the CFO in the next week or two, and hopefully I will have some news, because I understand there is other things coming from Elevate Pass. How exactly and when it's going to be delivered and being published, I don't know yet. So until then, we have to stand by. We don't have to stand by because Solar Farm version 2 is definitely flying. This last week, we had 2 solar flares, and one came up on Friday, so before the weekend, and the next one on the Monday. We had a 25% bonus, and then on the Monday we had a 4% bonus, and obviously this was really pumping up with the shooting star. If you are compounding, if you're going in to buy, this is heavy bonuses. However, there's also a downside to the Solar Farm version 2 here, and we only talk about the version 2 because the new solar flares that are put in place. So there are some mechanisms in here to make sure that 24 hours prior to a shooting star event, during the star event, and 24 hours after the shooting star ends. So any investor who decides to sell will receive the penalties of 50% in panel reductions. And obviously that left quite a gap over the weekend, so where nobody could really sell because one just ended up starting the next one. And that actually showed up in the numbers as people were selling off much bigger than we first anticipated. So if we have a look at Solar Farm version 2 here, we can see that our development for the week, it doesn't look so big, but I will show you where we were the day before. So the total value locked was down by quite a bit already last week, 690 BNB. And now it looks like 673. However, we were quite high. We were almost at the 1,000 mark again. So, and I'll show you these numbers shortly. Panel owned is also good. It's up by 154%. And obviously, panel owned is the percentage you get every day, 14.28 plus your bonuses. However, you have a lot of other influencing factors that will make the change. And the panel value, as you can see, even though we've been compounding for an entire week, it's gone from 26.5 down to 25.1, down by 5%. Obviously, it could have been a bit higher, but we're also making a video on how to withdraw and how to buy. And that also influenced the results this week. That particular video will be out in a couple of days, early next week, most probably. Exchange rate was also influenced heavily by our solar flares here, going from 12,430 up to 33,361 panels. So these are the exact numbers, and these are basically also coming from that the BNB versus US dollars basically followed the crypto exchange rate, so the Bitcoin rate, apart from 2 days ago where things started to go in a different direction. As you can see, the BNB is actually going up, and it's going past the $300 mark, and that was obviously an excellent opportunity also to first of all pump up with the solar flare, and then when the price on the BNB is high, then you also go out and sell a bit of it. We did exactly the same thing, so but obviously this was here to show, and at the same time we also put a bit back into the solar farm. So that could be definitely one of the reasons to inspire a lot of people to sell at this particular time. The day before, where we couldn't sell, you can see that the total value locked was actually up to 947 BNB, so 30% or 37% up in the week. The panel owned is obviously the same here. The panel value was definitely up by 81%. And then the exchange rate, so there is obviously a bit of a minus, and that was at 41%. So these numbers obviously looked a lot better, and the people that woke up the day after here got a big shock. We were lucky enough to see everything happening basically live. People were ready, 9 o'clock Central European time. They were selling off, and there was about 200 BNB that was sold off in less than 5 minutes. Solar Farm 1 is a lot more boring and straightforward. So the TVL has gone down a bit again. Last week we only saw a slight reduction, about 2%. Here it's gone from 63.5 BNB down to 54.7. So obviously they could have taken part of that out from the Solar Farm 1, put it in while they had the solar flare, and basically buying more panels in there. It would definitely make sense, but it's down by 14%. Panels owned has gone up for us, 202%, so excellent. And then the panel value has not gone up so much this particular week. We can only master 13%. We haven't taken any money out of the version 1 here, and the daily rewards is the same also, slightly up by 13%. Overall, still a good development. Obviously, we are risk-free in both of these platforms, and I think a lot of other people from last night has done the same thing. They have taken out their initial investment and then sitting back and then enjoying what is to come in the future for Solar Farm, because we are still waiting for the casino. We're still waiting for a lot of other things that is going to make this even more interesting. And the solar coin versus the BNB that we have in here also has also been in a positive development. So anyway, slightly. So, but it has become a lot more stable. And one of the reasons for this is most probably because, again, we haven't been able to sell. So because of these two solar flares covering 6 days in the past week. AI marketing, not much positive to say about this at the moment. We still have 0 on our app balance, so we simply can't see how much we're making. We can see that the robots are still working, but our basically return from wherever people are buying online here with us, we can't really see it, and definitely unknown. A lot of frustration. The only thing positive that we can see here is the advertising budget is now within the range of 72 hours getting picked up. But obviously, if nothing else is working, it matters only a little bit. But let's see if the technical team can now get this sorted once and for all, and hopefully we will have some good news for you in August. Again, team leaders meeting is supposed to take place every 2 weeks, and it was postponed already, as we mentioned in previous news reports. Now at the moment it's going to be the 9th of August. If it comes out, definitely we will put it on the website. Otherwise, all we can tell is that it's been postponed again. What hasn't been postponed is our trading. However, we have seen some shift in this. And as you will see, we don't have the all-time highs for the gold or the silver this particular week. The British pounds USD is doing quite well again. CAD Swiss francs doing quite well. And also one of the latest ones we added to it, the British pounds Japanese, is also on the top 3 here. We are currently working on another currency, which is now the crypto, and see if actually the profit retriever is going to do a good job on this particular one. From the testing that we are doing at the moment, and this is only back testing, it looks okay. Then we're going to put them on live demo accounts, and then let's fold it out. Let's see exactly how they're going to operate for a couple of months. So the numbers, as I mentioned previously, and when we spoke about Elevate Pass, we have also our trading numbers that are quite low. I'm sure a lot of people would think that these percentages for a week is quite good, but compared to what we had before, we have been well above 10%. Anyway, we can see that the top one is British pounds Japanese, 5.6%, CAD Swiss francs, 4.2%. British pounds USD is at 3.9, and then our silver is coming in at 3.2. New Zealand Swiss francs down at 2.3. Overall, the top 5 here made $1,918 or 3.8%, which is obviously not bad percentage at all. On top of this, Alex is back. He has made a video, and this particular one with the setting all traders used to make millions. And again, he's showing some of the not to do. Some are a bit lucky once in a while, and obviously here making 1,400% in 30 days is a bit unrealistic. I'm not going to tell you exactly which setting that particular one is, but it's definitely one that people are not really paying attention to, and most of the time they will make a lot of money very quickly, and then the account will be blown shortly after. So definitely worth a look. The second one he has made is also a short video here again, where you can go to his video and download the free trading magazine today, give you some ins and outs of all the trading. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. We hope you enjoyed it as always, and plenty of profits out there to be had. We will continue to monitor this, as we mentioned, so we will send out a little video very shortly here, most probably early next week, covering the solar farm and how we managed to take out some extra money. We also added some into the platform, and we show you exactly how all this happened. So hope to see you on the next news report or one of the other videos. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.